Hello guys, in this video we are going to see the unsupervised machine learning model applied on iris dataset. Now unsupervised models are used when we don't have the target variable and we have to find patterns on independent variables so that we can group them together to get some insights. Here I have loaded the libraries and then loaded the iris dataset. It has 6 columns. One is ID, then 4 independent variables of sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width, and then there is a target feature of a species. Now if we look at target variable, there are 3 classes: iris versicolor, iris virginica and iris setosa, and the classes are balanced with 50 entries of each class. Now to apply unsupervised learning model, we need only the independent variables. So I have filtered out 4 independent variables: sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. Then standard scaler is applied because clustering models are based on distance based calculations, and if the features are not scaled, then the features with larger numeric value will have more effect on distance based calculations. Then we see the 5-point summary. Now the first clustering model which I applied is k-means. Now to apply k-means, we have to see inertia and the Silhouette scores. Now if we look at the inertia using elbow plot, we can see that the inertia is reducing greatly when we move from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3 clusters. But if we increase the number of clusters, the decrease in inertia has been gradual. Now we have to look at one more metric, that is Silhouette score. Silhouette score tells about the quality of clusters. The calculations are based on homogeneity and heterogeneity calculations. Now if we look here, the Silhouette score is highest for 2 clusters. Now if Silhouette score is high, it is good. For 3 clusters, the Silhouette score is around 0.45. But as we see in the elbow plot, for 2 clusters the inertia was quite large. Now the Silhouette score is better for 2 clusters, maybe because there is imbalance in the clusters. If more number of data points are placed in one cluster only, then the homogeneity will be quite high and heterogeneity will also be good because the second cluster having less points may be far away. And so seeing both the plots, we can conclude that 3 clusters are good for this data set. Now fitting the model, if we look at the inertia and Silhouette score, inertia is 140 and Silhouette score is 0.458. If we look at the label counts, we can see that the classes are quite balanced with 53, 50 and 47 entries in 3 labels. Now the advantage here is that we have been given target variable. So if we take out the average of different features, we can see that sepal length, petal length and petal width are the smallest for iris setosa and largest for iris virginica, while the sepal width does not give a good pattern to us. So if we apply the same analogy here, we can assign the labels to the classes. For example, if we look here, the sepal length, petal length and petal width for label 0 is minimum, so we can assign it to iris setosa. Similarly, label 2 has largest of sepal length, petal length and petal width, so we can assign it to iris virginica. Now if we look at the scatter plots, we can see that the 3 clusters are quite distinguishable. We can plot scatter plots for different features. Now coming to agglomerative clustering, it follows bottom to top approach and the calculations are against distance based, and we use different types of linkages here. Now the single linkage looks for minimum distance, complete linkage looks for maximum distance, average linkage looks for average distance, and word linkage is based on inertia calculations. Now if we look here, the cophonetic correlation coefficient is quite good for single, average and word linkage. Now cophonetic correlation coefficient tells us about that after clustering whether the data points still follow similar distribution as before. There should not be much difference after clustering, otherwise the original nature of data set is changed. So we can see that correlation is quite high for average linkage, but for word and single also it is quite good. Now if we plot dendrogram, we can see here that linkage is average, and if we look at the distribution, the classes are highly imbalanced, because linkage only tells us about the relation between the original and the new data points. It does not tell us about the quality of clusters. Now in clustering, the distance based calculations usually result in calculation of inertia and homogeneity and heterogeneity. So word linkage is quite better. So if we look for word linkage, we can see that the clusters are better than any other linkage, but the clusters are still imbalanced because the minority class has got only about 30 points. Now let's look at the PCA. Now PCA looks for variations and it took out the best input variables to develop the patterns. Now if we look at inertia calculations again for k-means, we can again see that elbow plot gives 3 clusters as good clusters. If we look at Silhouette score, again we get 3 clusters as quite good number of clusters. Now if we fit the model and look at inertia and Silhouette score, we can see that inertia is now only 116. Previously it was 140 and Silhouette score is 0.508. So it means it has improved. Previously it was only 0.458. If we look at the labels, the clusters are quite balanced, 53, 50 and 47. Now if we again look at cophonetic correlation, we can see that the cophonetic correlation for word linkage has significantly improved to about 0.84. Previously it was 0.82, while for other linkages it has remained almost same. Now if we plot the dendrogram and look at word linkage, now if we look at the minority class, it has over 40 data points in it. So applying PCA has improved the quality of clusters, which is evident from inertia and Silhouette score and also from this dendrogram. Please do suggest improvements in this workflow, and thanks for watching.